gather round, the curtains rising high. It's real talk time, and we'll tell you why. From old-time flicks to the silver screen, we've got the stories and the in-between. But out of real talk, it's the place to be.
Welcome back to the Real Talk podcast.
Woo!
Episode 16.
Holy shit.
Pretty good. We're
moving.
That's 4 months of episodes. It's crazy.
Yeah, consistent, baby.
Yeah,
we're motoring.
I guess it was the first episode we do was the beginning of December, right? So we're mid-March right now.
We're moving pretty good.
Crazy, yeah.
That's pretty good.
Consistent.
Fuck
haven't
yeah.
missed one yet, and there's been some shorter, some longer, but
We're just variation.
we're having fun. Yeah,
Mix it up.
Having a good time.
Keeping it wild, you know?
yeah.
Keeping it a little funky.
But it's been good. So there's not like a whole lot going on movie wise right now. So
Oh, we've hit like that little cruising point, eh?
yeah, because
After
we're
the Oscars. and-
yeah, it's a little post Oscars hangover. So everybody's kind of like chilled out after
Cruising as the next wave of movies will
yeah,
explode out.
after a couple weeks. So we're going to do the like a horror episode essentially today, but we'll start off with kind of recent movies, stuff that I don't know if you saw anything since we last.
I did.
You got stuff on your plane ride. I'm sure you saw, but
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll get into what's going to be our episode today, which is kind of like horror taking over the landscape of film and new movies coming out, movies that we've seen, and kind of like how it's shaped the way that it seems like there's more horror movies again for the first time in a long time, and like good horror films, not just half-ass horror films that are like just the same repeat stuff over and over again. So there's so much that like is in the horror genre as a whole, and it's cool because we talk about like body horror. We can talk about like Nosferatu, which is kind of like a vampire horror. Like it's grotesque in its own way, versus like the traditional stuff. If we look at like the Insidious series, or even they did the First Omen more recently, and those kind of films, or even Terrifier as well. So
Terrifier, the emergence of a new horror icon.
yeah. So it's interesting, like how horror has kind of almost reshaped Hollywood a little bit. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of that in this episode. So stay tuned. But first, what have you seen recently? What's exciting?
So I watched 2 movies on the plane.
Okay.
I watched 2 movies on the plane ride there, and I watched 0 films on the plane ride back. And that's because my flight got horribly delayed.
Yeah.
Because they were doing a mechanical check, a critical mechanical check over on the plane, because it was the same model airplane as the one that just had an emergency landing in Denver.
Oh shit.
That was like caught fire or something like that. So yeah, the story is that they had to delay it by 7 hours. Delayed by 7 hours. So my flight went from being a nice afternoon cruise to an overnight red eye.
Oh my. Nice compensation for that, hopefully.
Oh yeah. They were nice. They gave meal vouchers and they gave a discount and a bunch of like bonus airplane points, you know. Air Canada treats you okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't complaining. I have like I was in the lounge in the airport. So
okay. So you're in the Maple Leaf Lounge, fine. Yeah.
No, not even the Maple Leaf. I was in Cabo. There's only one lounge, and it's the VIP
in Cabo.
In Cabo,
Coming back.
Coming back.
Oh,
yeah. So I was in the VIP lounge that they have there, which is super nice.
Yeah.
And actually pretty funny. So I guess I was one of the only ones from the Air Canada flight that was delayed in the lounge.
Yeah.
So they were just like. They were like, hey, do you want to come sit in this private area so that they don't bother you? And I was like, what do you mean, private area?
Regular people.
Right. So they led me to this separate area, which was just like a whole separate lounge with couches and everything. So I was just sitting there in a reclining like lounger, just on my laptop doing work. And then the guy kept coming in and he was like, "Oh, can I get you anything?" I'm like, "I don't know. What do you guys have?"
Is it complimentary?
No, it's all complimentary. Yeah, it's all complimentary. He's like, "Well, I can get beer, cocktail, any soft drink." He's like, "We just made like a chicken dish with rice, or we have sandwiches, and they're like, we can make, obviously, we're in Mexico, you can make tacos, quesadillas, or like whatever you want, essentially." And I was like, "Oh my God, I have so much to choose from."
It's pretty good.
So I hung out there, and I just got caught up on emails and work and all the projects. But the films I watched on the plane was Another Round.
Okay.
And The Order.
I haven't seen either of those.
I think it's called The Order, right? That sounds right. The Order. So The Order. We'll go happy, then we'll go messed up. Okay. So Another Round is all about this. It takes place in Norway. Okay. With Mads Mikkelsen, I believe.
Is it a tennis movie?
No, it's about drinking.
Oh.
So it's about this whole concept that humans were born with 0.05 less blood alcohol level than we're supposed to have. And so it's this idea that you're supposed to maintain that peak human like performance is to maintain a 0.05 blood alcohol level. So essentially this group of guys who work at a school, they all say that they're going to drink, and they're going to drink throughout the day. And the rule is that they start after breakfast. Yeah. After breakfast in the morning, and then they stop at 8 p.m.
Okay.
At night, and there's no drinking on the weekends.
Oh, wow.
So they're following, I can't think of his name, a writer. There's I think the writer of Moby Dick, whatever that guy's name is. Okay. Hemingway? Yeah. Maybe not Moby Dick, but Hemingway. He did that. He was like, he wouldn't drink before breakfast, and he would stop drinking at 8 p.m. so that he could get up at a reasonable hour the next day. Yeah. And he didn't drink on the weekends. And so they followed how he did it. And they tested this, and of course, the story goes that it got out of control. But you see the benefits and how it loosened up all these kind of stick up their ass kind of guys in a school, and really revitalized how they saw the world and the people, how they interacted with the world. Yeah, and it was quite a lovely film. I would have given it, or not would have given it. I gave it like a 3.5. It was fun. It was exciting. The characters were good. It's always nice to watch a film that's not an English language film. Yeah. But at the same time, there was like, I already knew what was going to happen. Yeah. Very much so. Yeah. Because I already saw, they kind of gave it all away in the first 40 minutes.
Oh, really?
Because they did these little nuances that you're like, oh, they said this and they did this because later in the film they're going to have a hard relationship. Or they did this and plugged this because this guy's going to die. It's like, they gave a lot away, and I understand why they did that, because most people aren't going to catch that. Yeah. But because I caught it, I was just kind of like, oh, I already know what's going to happen. Yeah. So I was kind of tuned out. But it was good. I'd say 3.5.
That's interesting, because I looked it up. It's got like a really deep rating of Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh yeah,
it's a 93.
I know.
Like that's very good. Yeah. IMDb's got that 7.7. So like. Close to kind of what you're alluding to. So
no, it was great, and it was about people. Like, it was about life, and I do love stories about life, and it's a feel good film, and the ending is really powerful and positive, and I love Mads Mikkelsen. He's great. That's the name, right? Yep. That's his name. Yep. Yeah, I love him as an actor. He's just so talented and amazing. Like, you see him in Hannibal or in James Bond, or
he's very well rounded.
Yeah, he's very good. And seeing him perform in his native language is like really, really like.
Well, it elevates the.
Oh yeah, I'm like, yes,
movie so much. Yes.
Yeah. So I really liked it. I enjoyed that film a lot. My only downfall was that I kind of anticipated exactly what was going on. I caught the gist, and that kind of ruined it for me.
You wanted it to be.
Exactly. The other film, The Order, is messed up. Okay. So it's about a small group of white supremacists that break away from a main white supremacist group in Washington State.
Oh yeah, I've seen. I was gonna watch that. This came out recently. Yeah,
and it's got the guy from Warm Bodies or whatever.
Yeah. Terry Husk. No, it's Jude Law. Sorry.
It's got Jude Law. Yeah. Jude Law, but then the main.
Nicholas Holt.
Yeah. Nicholas Hoult. So Jude Law is an FBI guy who moves to Washington State, this small town in Washington State, to get away from the big city because he was all tied up in the KKK and the drug gangs and all this and the mafia.
Yeah.
And he wanted to get away because he was tired of seeing all the bloodshed and, wanted to quiet down because he was kind of, they allude to him dying and everything.
Yeah.
So that film is messed up. Rightfully so. So it's about these white supremacists who have this idea. They're following this fictional book that outlines how they would need to build a white power group and take over essentially the government.
Yeah.
And so they have all these stages as part of this, which is you start off with general hit and runs to build a capital. And then once you have a war chest, you start training your soldiers and acquiring weapons. And then you start taking on bigger jobs to build more cash. And then once you have enough cash and enough people and enough guns, then you start approaching, you start assassinating key figures to weaken the opposition. And then, then you essentially, you do like a storm on Capitol Hill and you capture all the offenders, all the people who are anti-white power, or how they would classify them. And then you have the day of hanging, where you hang everybody that was sinful.
Oh my God.
You know what? 4 out of 5 for a film, because I definitely felt it's a true story.
Yeah.
It's a true story. It's terrible that there's people out in the world who
do that. And still actively would do that.
Yeah. And they kill people without mercy and all this kind of stuff. And it was messed up, but at the same time, there was a lot of really good drama, and the characters were really, really well rounded.
Yeah.
And that was really impressive. And just a reminder how much I love Jude Law.
Yeah.
Because wow,
how convincing
fantastic.
he is in that role, even though he's like a British actor, and you go,
he's great. Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah.
He's great. Really good film. I actually recommend checking it out. I feel like most people would enjoy it.
It's interesting because, again, it's like another one that's, I feel like this is kind of all over the place with the rating. I guess it's depending on where you're rating it, but IMDb 6.8 out of 10, Rotten Tomatoes 92.
Yeah.
And Metacritic 75.
It was good.
But then on Google, it's 49. So it's interesting. So it's kind of all over the place, and it did terribly in the box office.
Oh, yeah.
This was a TIFF film as well.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, this was another TIFF film.
Oh, wow. No, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed another round, and I enjoyed The Order.
Yeah.
I think if I was in a different headspace, like maybe not sitting on a plane and more chilled and laid back, I probably would have enjoyed another round a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But no, it was so that's the 2 new films I saw.
Nice.
I'm trying to think if I saw anything else. No, I think that was it.
I haven't seen anything.
That's okay.
I haven't seen a single movie.
That's okay.
It's been a very busy week because I was doing all that stuff, like confirming the job and everything, and doing all the setup. And then we were away this weekend. We were up north, so didn't have any time. We
that's good.
Nice celebratory weekend up in Collingwood. So it was good. Don't remember Friday night, but
that's okay. Some nights are best
left as is. No. But I think I have a little bit more time. Actually, no, that's a lie. I don't have any more time this week.
This is the problem, right?
It's so tough.
The only reason I watched the films is because I was on an airplane.
Yeah.
If I wasn't on a plane, I would not have watched.
Short of going to the movie last week and going to see Novocaine.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Essentially.
But that's once again, you're setting aside time because it's an event.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to still go see Mickey 17.
Yes, we do.
And I feel like there's, what's the other one that's coming out next week as well is the Robert De Niro one. Right? Alto Nights is coming out next week as well.
Wow. Okay. So there's some stuff. I think
it's next week. Yeah. Oh no, this week. Yeah, it's coming out this week.
Wow.
Yeah, so it comes out Friday. So when this episode goes out, it's coming out, and then Opus just came out as well.
Opish?
Yeah, Opus.
Opus. Which one was that?
That's the one with AO and John Malkovich.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a A24.
Yes.
A24 and trying to see who else it is. I reckon is the it looks like Vista Vision, but it's not. And then there's another one, Black Bag as well.
Oh, Black Bag looked interesting.
Yeah.
The concept was.
Steven Soderbergh.
Yeah.
So it was a few good films to go check out right now.
Yeah, that's great.
Coming out very soon, at least. So it'll be.
It was funny. They did a weird market release with the Black Bag because they started blasting it so heavy like 2 months ago, and I thought it had came out.
Yeah.
And then I went to check.
It's kind of like died off almost.
Yeah, it's weird how they're doing.
They've
these
like killed the
releases.
marketing. They did too much up front, I think.
That's kind of how it felt. They did a lot up front to the point where I was like, "Oh, it's coming up shortly."
Yeah.
No, it didn't. Wasn't anywhere near.
You know what? That actually would be good to see because it's only an hour and a half.
Nice.
Like a drama thriller, an hour and a half, nice and tight.
That feels.
I can appreciate that.
That feels really nice and tight.
Yeah. Even Opus, like for probably more of like a drama horror kind of film, is an hour 45.
I like this.
I like that. I like that amount of time. I mean, again, Mickey 17 being 2 hours and 17 minutes is not bad.
No.
Like that's pretty tight for that film as well. And I feel like that's reasonable. And then we've got Snow White coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Friday.
I've already
as
heard
well.
some things about this, yeah.
That's going to be good. Well, Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
As the stepmother. But yeah, there's again ton of good films kind of.
Wow, there's lots. That's great.
Yeah, lots for us to go and see. We just gotta make the time to do it. Maybe the 28th or something. Is it the 28th? 29th? I just do like a whole movie day. Because Allie's away.
29.
Allie's got a girls' day. Go see movies.
I think that would be fine. That's the Saturday.
Yeah.
I think that's okay.
Yeah.
No, because I'm not in Vegas at that point.
Oh, okay.
No, that's good. That should be fine.
We'll do a whole movie. We'll do 3 movies.
3 movies.
Because they're shorter films, so we could crush those like downtown.
Yeah. I'm game for it.
Okay, let's do it.
2 films, a dinner, and then another film. I'm down.
Yeah. Sounds good. There we go. We're all planned out.
Wow, I think of that. Now we'll have a great review for that episode.
That'll be a good one. Okay, so as we kind of wrap up the stuff that we've seen right now, or well, just you've seen, but I haven't seen fuck all.
Well, I recommend it. So there you go. Now you got 2 more to add to your watch list.
I got a big list of stuff that I need to see. So. It's interesting. I think that as we dive into like the way that, and I think even just as we go and see Opus at some point as well, like that'll be kind of that psychological thriller. And there's so many aspects of like horror that make it different on so many different levels. Like there's psychological thrillers. There's like jump scare films. There's just straight up gore.
Yeah, there's your creature horror.
Yeah. There's
your killer horror, your hacker slashers. Yeah. There's your psychological. Then there's your psychological. Then there's what's the word I'm looking for? Demons.
Yeah.
Demons, ghosts.
Yeah.
Which is paranormal is the word I was looking for. And then you have
there's just like it's such a diverse genre, even with like all the subcategories within its own genre make it so interesting that you could see so many different films and never get tired of being still within the same like genre. Because I feel like there's so many romance that are the exact same. Like they all follow the same pattern.
They're a little bit tighter in a category.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, if I'm going to a romance film,
Yeah.
it's kind of going to fit within
Yeah.
these boundary bounding boxes versus like horror where it's like we're going to a horror film and it's like, okay, well, within the genre of horror, what could it possibly be?
There's so many different avenues that it can go down, and it's all dependent on like who's directing it, who's in it, how good's the writing. Because like the writing makes a good horror film, regardless of like how it is, and even if it's like a hacker slasher film, like it's still going to be decent subtext within that for you to get the right energy and like you get the right feeling out of like going to see that movie. Like you want to be genuinely scared, like going into that. And it's especially with like the best example of that probably is like the paranormal category as well. Because if the paranormal is done right, it's like, like way too creepy. And half of the time, like it's real, which just makes it more like there's more animosity when you feel and you walk into that cinema and you're like, oh shit, okay, what am I about to watch? I'm not going to sleep well for a couple days after watching this. And like Insidious has always done that really well. What's the other big series?
Paranormal Activity?
No, not Paranormal Activity.
Conjuring?
Yeah, The Conjuring movies, because those are all like true stories.
Conjuring messed me up, yeah.
Like how many films? Are there 5 films? There's a 6th one coming out, I think.
That sounds
within the
right. Something like
timeline.
that. Yeah.
And it's so interesting how they all play so beautifully into each other. And it's not like they're not perfect movies by any means, but they're as good as it gets when it comes to like how chilling they are.
I'd say the worst paranormal film that I've seen that really messed me up was Sinister.
Sinister's bad, yeah.
I think Sinister had the most profound impact. I say profound.
Yeah.
Fucked me up.
Yeah.
Like real bad. And it's like the concept. I guess the concept was freaky. This monster that exists in these photos and videos, and the videos are horrible because it's it loves to control the oldest son and murder the whole family, but it doesn't bother you until you become aware of it. And so it's like, you're studying these videos, you're looking at them, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, is that a face? And then all of a sudden you're introduced to what's his name?
I'm not sure.
I can't think of the sinister demon's name. All I can think of is Bagul, but I think Bagul is from The Possession.
It's Bagul.
It is Bagul.
Yeah, it's Bagul. Yeah.
Sinister Bagul.
So, yeah, that's, I mean, if you haven't already watched Sinister, you definitely need to go watch it.
Go watch Sinister and maybe do it in the afternoon so you get a little bit of daylight after.
Yeah.
Or go watch a nice little cartoon afterwards, maybe like Moana 2. Yeah, because it's Sinister really, really
it gets you.
Yeah, messed me up. The first Conjuring really messed me up too.
Yep.
I'm trying to think what other Paranormal Activity. Even the first one really creeped me out.
I think 3 was the craziest, like one of the craziest.
Because that had like the cult and and it had like the fools. It had like the cartel or whatever in it.
Yeah, the Paranormal Activities is like some of them were kind of looked at it like they were kind of shit, but they were also like, because they felt so real in the way that they did like the camera, like the CCTV kind of idea, like the nanny cam thing. It kind of put like its own different twist on how those movies were going to be like produced.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because like I think as we look at like horror in a full genre, and obviously some of the more recent ones have maybe got a bit bigger budgets. Like Nosferatu obviously had a bigger budget, and that's a different kind of like horror, even if you want to call it like a little bit of body horror even. Because kind of like Count Orlok it's it's a different thing. Like
Yeah.
it's not like Dracula or like Count Orlok has never been like a horror film, but it's in the genre. But like the original Paranormal Activity got made for 15 grand. Like
Yeah.
something like that just goes to show that like how much of a push that was, and that's why horror films are always more interesting. The bigger budget they get, usually the worse they are. Because the tighter the budget, the more creative risks they can take within that, and it just makes it so much more interesting.
Yeah.
And Terrifier is a great example of that as well. It's things like that that make it like a really impactful film.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity is interesting because it really set an example on how marketing can transform how your film does.
Yeah.
Because instead of showing the actual film in
Yeah.
the trailers, they showed the audience's reaction
Yeah.
to the film using, night vision or
Yeah.
infrared cameras in the movie theater, where it was like you see people jump out of their skin. No!
Yeah.
And then everyone goes, the scariest movie of the year. And it's like, wow, this is like,
Yeah.
I have to go watch this. And yeah, it's funny about Paranormal Activity. So Spielberg
Yeah.
bought it off of the filmmakers who made it for $15K.
Oh yeah.
I could be getting this wrong, but so Julian, feel free to fact check me. But I'm going to go based off what I remember from this conversation I had about it.
Yeah.
Spielberg's company
Yeah.
bought it off these filmmakers.
Yep.
They made it for $15K.
Yeah.
He then went and remade it. Remade it for some big amount of money.
Yeah.
Test screened it with an audience, and the audience actually liked the $15,000
Really?
version more.
Interesting.
So they went back with it.
Oh, interesting.
Quote me on it, but maybe fact check me first, just to make sure I'm not too off the money.
We'll have to look that up. Yeah, I didn't realize that that's an interesting one, because obviously he felt like he was gonna like do it better.
Yeah, here I'll do a quick research.
I got it. So
you did? Yeah, okay.
he was convinced that his DVD copy of Paranormal Activity was haunted. Oh, interesting. This is completely different.
Oh, is it?
Oh my God, this is completely different. He was convinced that his DVD copy of Paranormal Activity was actually haunted. He brought it back to work in a garbage bag after first viewing it. So, like, that was his visceral reaction to the film.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't see.
Oh, here. Maybe I'm horribly misquoting this.
Oh, no. Here we go. Yeah, it does say that it was acquired by Paramount.
Paramount, okay.
And then they added a new ending that cost $200,000. It was given a very limited release in 2009, so 2 years after the original film. Okay, so it did do well. The film earned $109 million in the U.S. box office.
Okay, so I'm blending the two stories.
Oh,
Okay, so that's what it is. Yeah, so DreamWorks originally planned to remake the first Paranormal Activity movie, but a test screening convinced them that it didn't need a remake.
Yeah.
And then, so I must have mixed up the
So
the
it
Steven
did.
Spielberg
Yeah.
haunted story when he viewed it, because he
Because it
executive
does say
produced it.
produced by Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
But it's the same. Wow. So
I think it was his team who did the marketing then.
It must have been. Well, production company was Blumhouse. which
Yes.
Blumhouse does all of the
Yeah,
really
Mr. Blum.
good shit.
Yeah, who came from Miramax.
But it's it says so budget, and then post production was $200 million.
Yeah,
Full
yeah.
box office $194 million on that first film. Fucking nuts. That's insane.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
and they've made just under $1 billion across the whole
I
franchise.
believe it. Yeah.
Yeah, the first one was fucking scary.
Well, because it's also, again, it's like there's so much to the found footage kind of idea of the films. Mm-hmm. So they've done such a good job. I mean, they've done 7 films.
That's crazy.
Yeah, 7 films. and it's the same guy who produced it the entire time. So, yeah, he did the entire. He produced all of them, which is great.
That's amazing. Great.
So, the full box office worldwide grossing is $890 million.
Yeah.
On a combined total budget of $28 million. That's got to be, for box office return, has to be one of the best box office returns of all time for a franchise.
Yeah.
It has to be. There's no way that anything is even close to that.
No.
There's no way.
There is definitely. Like, how much did they make?
But budget-wise, though, it's just based on, like, the budget.
Oh, budget
box
versus
office ratio.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. As a franchise, absolutely. But it's up there as one of the highest grossing franchises of all time.
And $28 million for a whole franchise is pretty nuts.
Yeah.
To make an $890 million return.
Yeah.
10x, baby, 10x. Well, that's
And it probably still brings in, like, that's just box office.
Yeah.
It still brings in royalties off of the streaming service.
And I was going to say, this is why horror, another reason why horror is such a popular genre right now, especially from the studio side, is because not only is marketing and between marketing and the actual concept, you're going to make a lot in the box office because people just like being scared and like being together in a theater and getting scared. Yeah. But you also make a huge return on streaming services because the discoverability of horror films, people will see a random horror film called Scary House and go, sure.
Flip it on.
I don't care who's in it. Yeah. I don't care what the monster is.
That's the biggest thing.
As long as it scares me.
The actors don't matter.
Exactly.
The actors, like, that's again why it's so budget friendly to do a horror film, because the actors don't matter.
Don't matter.
At all.
No.
I almost prefer if it's people I don't know.
Because then all you can do is look at them and go, that's the James Bond villain. Or that's,
because then you're like attributing them to some other piece of success.
Yeah.
And like, I guess we'll see that in, like, they've become their own celebrities. Like the Insidious, the Conjuring, like family, like that whole series. Like those actors are big now because that franchise has become big. But in all other ways, it's like, it's a pretty. You don't remember most of the time, like You remember the production houses. You remember Blumhouse or like A24 is doing them, or like those kind of production houses that are consistently pumping out like horror films and stuff, or psychological thrillers, or anything else within the genre. But it's just so interesting, like how little that matters. Yeah, actors wise.
And you can take huge creative risks.
Yeah,
because it's because you're spending less money, and you're using less known cast members.
There's nothing to lose.
No, there's nothing to lose. You're like, yes, you're still working with a good chunk of a couple millions. Yeah, but compared to the grand scheme of what it takes to make a film, like look at Dune, for example. You could not do close. You can't do Dune with non-popular actors, and you have to be providing a certain level of security when it comes to making it. But you can take big, sweeping, like whatever you want. You can try out everything, and also because not just because you're not spending a lot of money, but also because because horror is just, it's an easy genre to just pick whatever you want, and for people to just watch. And to take the chance, because the objective isn't, I'm going to watch because, it's a romance movie with Matthew McConaughey, a rom-com, or whatever the case is, or a funny movie with Adam Sandler. People don't need that tie-in to go watch a film and to take a risk. They just are like, this is a new horror film and it looks spooky. Yeah. Like I literally watched Presence. The Presence, the new film that just came out. I literally watched that because it looked spooky. Yeah. I did I took, and they did a weird risk with the camera movements. I really liked it, but it just was like, it was weird being from the ghost's perspective. Yeah. But yeah, like I watched it just because it looks spooky. That was it.
As you were talking, I was thinking about as we're talking about like franchises and stuff. And The Conjuring, I was like, I want to know what their gross box office all time is as well. What do you think it is? Budget then box office.
Budget?
Actually, I think it might be more impressive.
Than Paranormal Activity?
Maybe. It's close.
50 million on the series. No, more.
50 million?
50 million total.
No.
Less? More?
Way more.
Like 200 million.
Box office?
Oh, no. Made for.
Oh, made for. Oh, yeah. 208. Very
208
close.
million,
Very
okay.
close. What do
And
you
then
think
box office, you said more impressive, so a billion. 1.5. 2.
2.2.
Damn.
2.27.
10x, baby. 10x. Actually, yeah, no, 10x.
10x.
10x, baby.
Yeah.
Get Grant Cardone over here. 10x,
10x season. Yeah, that's insane. Like that's
actually
so
insane.
impressive. It's interesting. The first Conjuring cost them more to make than Annabelle did.
That makes sense.
Interesting. But
Because Annabelle took place in an apartment, did it not?
yeah, Annabelle was $6.5 million, which is still pretty good for 2014.
Took place in an apartment building.
Yeah.
Whereas Conjuring, the first one, took place in a big abandoned house and
But that's not a band. That's the actual Conjuring house. That's where they shot it. That's the creepiest part about it is they shot it where it happened. Like that's the most terrifying part of the whole thing. Yeah. The Annabelle thing is.
They destroyed the Conjuring house now, eh? They demolished it?
Have they?
I think so.
They're doing another film though. Oh. You got to watch it in the right order. That's important.
Oh, yeah.
You have to watch it. You got to watch The Nun 2, Annabelle Creation, Annabelle, The Conjuring, Annabelle Comes Home, The Conjuring 2, and then The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It.
Yeah.
And then go to church after.
And cleanse yourself.
The Nun is very creepy. Like
the
look?
Ves.
I don't know the name, but
Ves. It starts with a V.
Vepia or something.
Vecna.
Yeah.
No, Vecna's not. Vecna's Stranger Things.
I was just gonna say. But yeah, that's a crazy big franchise.
Yeah, it's crazy. Horror is crazy. I mean, Black Phone.
Yeah.
Smile.
Yep. I was just gonna say as we kind of get into like how that's like evolved, like the way that they did all the Smile marketing and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's
Maybe
cool. With all
like
the in-person stuff, where the baseball games.
Which, as we were talking about last week when we were talking about like Novocaine, them doing the marketing for that, Smile was maybe one of the last times that they actually did like decent in-person marketing.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't remember another movie that they've actually done like in-person marketing for recently.
They used to do a lot of these big in-person marketing gimmicks.
I think it became too much of a PR issue.
Yeah, probably.
Like it was too much for them to handle in terms of that. So it's like,
and it's all the planning. I mean, like I find that the new world of cinema and TV is like everything happens very, very fast.
Yeah.
So you don't really have lead time.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the last couple of years, I've noticed that it's all the timelines have gone from like, oh, we're going to start filming at the 3-year mark or the first year mark, but then we have 3 years until has to go to market.
Yeah.
So we're going to take our time planning out marketing.
Yeah.
And how the campaigns are going to go, and we're going to do these in-depth city exploration like they did for Batman and The Dark Knight. So it's like everything's sped up. Now it's like, we have to film this, have it packaged, ready to deliver, and go to cinemas in like a year and a half.
Which is crazy.
It's so fast.
Like so tight.
And it's just because of digital.
Yeah.
Digital and delivery techniques, and now everything's so much faster. Before it was like, we have to ship the film reels to the cinemas, like the print copies, or now we just have satellite delivery. Yeah. And it's like you click a button and all of a sudden, 10,000 theaters have your film ready to go.
It's like essentially how if we get a streamer or something, it's the same thing. Like they're sending it to us 2 weeks early so we could do a sit down interview. It's like, how easy is that? Like, we've never been able to do that previously. Like an early screening of something, if we were going to do a review, we got to go to the theater and do that. Whereas they could just literally send us a link and I get X amount of times I can even open it and watch it back. Like, that's crazy.
The world is progressing at a rapid rate.
Different. Yeah.
And like even the leaps and bounds as we've figured out VFX and CG techniques and how we maximize filming practices. And so now you can take a 60-day film or what it would take to film in 60 days.
Yeah.
And now you can do it in 30 days
Yeah.
or 40 days or you have to figure out how to do it because you only have budget for that. It's just become so much faster.
Yeah.
Lead times have definitely
Completely
gone down.
different.
Like I even find on the commercial side, all these commercials I'm talking to people about or talking to companies about is all, we need this in like 3 months. Whereas before it's like, oh, we need it in 6 months. So I could take time to plan with everybody and figure it out. Now the lead times are just so significantly less. And I mean, really it's just because content, so you have to keep up at such a rapid rate of delivering content in order to keep up in the landscape. I think that's another reason why horror films are so successful because you can really you can pump them out fast.
Oh yeah.
And at a good quality too.
Exactly. And again, like that's the biggest thing is like the budget is, I was going to say it's endless, but it's like limited, but it's endless in the same way because you don't, like you could absolutely do, like again, as we looked at The Conjuring and stuff, like some of those films were produced for like $40 million. And that's when they get into like the bigger budgets and it's now a bigger production house and there's more marketing and yeah, I get that. But you could absolutely still do that Conjuring film for $500,000. Like if you've got talented DPs, you've got good directors, good producers, good writers, good talent.
It'd be hard to do it for 500K, but
Yeah. Location alone's 500,000, but you could do like
Terrifier they were making for nothing.
But even the first Paranormal Activity,
Nothing.
yeah. I love the lost footage kind of that. Is
Like
always,
Blair Witch. Blair Witch is another one where they had
So creepy.
like it was done for no money.
Yeah.
And it was all just like putting people in the right mind state.
Yeah.
So that when they watch the film,
scare the shit out of people. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's like it kind of reflects like culture anxieties too, and that's different ways that you get into like psychological thrillers in terms of like the Jordan Peele movies.
Yes.
As well. Like you have Get Out. So those really like kind of they take like social commentary, but they also take like this whole other twisted like psychological side that is, it just plays on your emotions in such a way that's so terrifying. And Look Up was okay, but Get Out was a very he did 3 very good films, but
and then Saw was another one that they did for cheap in the first one.
And that's been what, like 6 Saw movies now?
Oh God.
Like so many, and that's such a gore film that it's completely different than what you're expecting. Like it's such a different, it's in its own genre, like completely. I feel like horror, like Saw is
completely
you can relate separate from anything else.
It's a very specific genre. Horror is so diverse and it helps when you have money.
Yeah.
To try things out and to do things at a high level.
Yeah.
But you don't need a lot of money in order to make a really compelling horror film.
Yeah.
You just need that twisted mind.
Yeah.
In order to really go like, what can I do as a filmmaker that would really freak people out?
And I think a really good example of that recently was also Talk to Me.
Oh, Talk to Me is great.
They're coming out with a new film as well. Did you see that? Yeah.
With the cat?
Yeah.
What is that film called? The concept's very interesting for that one.
For Talk to Me or?
For the other one.
Oh, for the other one? Yeah.
Film.
I love Talk to Me. I love
Talk to Me is great. Yeah.
them directing. They did a really good job.
And that came off a YouTube series, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. The
great.
brothers, they've done a really good job.
Yeah. They did.
Where's the I swear it's want to make sure that I have it right. It's probably on their Instagram actually. But that's Bring Her Back.
Bring Her Back.
It looks creepy.
It
and
looks
A24 is producing it,
Yeah, it looks creepy.
which is great. A24 did the first one as well, which again was like
I love it. They take risks. They're risks, in quotations, because they know what they're doing. They're like, if they give us a good product and we give them, I'm sure that they have a whole system. If we like, they're strong filmmakers. If we give them this, and this, we'll get a great film. Yeah,
and they were, again, that was very impressive. Like I love. They've been doing it. Like those brothers have been doing it for a long time too.
Yeah.
Like they've been doing. I think they did the CG for this film, which is like so cool.
That's very cool
because they were doing it like on their YouTube channel forever. Like they were doing all of that crazy like stunt work and CG and like fight stuff and for forever. They've been doing it for like over 10 years.
Oh, so they've just been waiting.
And they've been waiting for the opportunity to like do this. And even when they did like they did Joe Rogan as well. Like it was very impressive. Like they're wired, but they were just trying stuff. They've been trying stuff forever.
That's great.
Which is like makes it just so impressive of the way that they choose to do that.
Yeah, the horror genre is a very good entry point.
Yeah.
Into the film world because it's such a low barrier to entry. I say low barrier to entry.
Yeah.
There's a high level of entry or high barrier to entry, but it's a lot easier to get the trust from a big studio to take a chance on you and to take a chance on your artistic vision.
Yeah.
Because they're like with every horror film, there's a pretty low risk and a high reward.
Yeah.
Which is another reason we see so many horror films trending because if you need working capital, spend 20 million and you might get 200 million back.
Yeah, it's very possible. Like especially if you marketing it right to scare the shit out of people, it will land, and you have to make it just messed up enough that it doesn't like throw your entire audience away. Just the right amount of like twisted.
So that people can walk out and have goosebumps go, ooh.
So we're doing a Real Talk horror movie coming soon. We've already partnered with A24.
Yeah,
the official announcement. I would do a horror film. I think I've wanted to do like a horror film for a long time. Yeah, so I think I do actually, I would want to do a horror film at some point. I think that's kind of like the end goal of like what I would want to do.
I get a lot of horror films on my desk.
Yeah.
I actually recently got sent a whole treatment to look at, which I have to remind myself to sit down and look at because I owe them a response. But the horror films, I get a lot of people asking me to look at them or produce them or whatever the case is, and I've seen a lot of really interesting ones, from creature horror films to cult horror films to psychological to the newest one is that I got is a serial killer.
Oh, interesting.
A serial killer who uses Grindr to get his victims.
That's kind of cool. Again, like more of a twist on like a modern take.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the seductress, but a dude who's pretending to be gay to seduce men, and then murder them or whatever the case is. From the treatment I read, it was very interesting. Yeah, because it was approaching on that psychological horror, but very much just like a gruesome murder film, like Seven. That crime horror that's just grotesque. I get a lot of horror films, and I think they're very fun. The tricky thing is, or at least the tricky thing, and it's an issue but not an issue, is how do you do a horror film in a way that doesn't stick you in only a horror film position where you become the horror film guy? Because I love horror films.
Could easily stay there,
I think they're fun, but I don't know if I would want to stay there. I think I'd want to be producing a multitude of content. But on the producing side, it's a little bit easier to just go with whatever you like. Yeah. It's more on the directing side.
I'll let you produce then.
That's all right with me.
I'll direct it.
Do it.
Yeah.
Make a crazy creature film.
I would do it. Yeah. I think I guess the creature ones are a little bit more challenging because there's a little bit of CG, there's a little more costume, there's a little bit more like to that, but if done right, could absolutely work really well. So, just I think the psychological thriller one is like always kind of interested me the most. Like taking like a crazy like creepypasta or something and like building or doing like a mini series of like creepypastas would be kind of fun.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like the what's it called? Love, Death, Robots. Taking like a Love, Death, Robots anthology series kind of style, but then twisting it into like a creepypasta horror.
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that'd be creepy.
Imagine doing like 10 episodes of like completely different stories.
Yeah. All the paranormal, or I always love the bad luck kind of things.
Yeah.
Or even like the one that popped in my head just now is the the Serbian dancing lady, the dancing old lady.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Where it's like if you're walking in the streets, I think it's Serbia. They there's this whole story about this dancing old woman.
Yeah,
and she's dancing like this.
Yeah.
And she has a knife in her hand.
Yeah.
And she won't be looking at you.
Yeah.
And if you go, hey, are you okay? Or whatever, if you interrupt her, she turns, locks eyes with you, screams and runs at you and stabs you.
Oh.
Or in Japan, they have one where taxi drivers tend to pick up a lot of ghosts, especially around certain areas.
Yeah.
And so their way of, it's important that there's a certain way to interact with them. Mm-hmm. And you also have to deliver them to the destination that they ask you to take them to.
Yeah.
And I remember going into lots of stories and testimonials people had where they were saying like, I picked up this woman and she said, "Can you take me to this street corner?" And I thought it was strange because that street corner has a lot of abandoned buildings, but I didn't think much of it. So I took her there, and then as we arrived, she just disappeared. And all of a sudden I was alone in my cab. And it's just like
interesting, very eerie.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of opportunity for like good horror films and like continuing to build out good horror films. So.
Yeah, well, you can have the thing I love about horror films is you can have fun with it.
Yeah,
you can really have fun with it, and you can really make something fun and twisted and unique and distinct from the rest of the content.
Yeah.
And you don't have to really service.
Yeah.
You don't have to bring like a really known love interest, or you don't have to make something that's so compelling and dramatic. Like you can just kind of have fun with it.
Yeah.
And if the audience goes, ooh, then you've kind of done your job.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I think that would be like, I don't know, that's a 5-year plan. Like do a horror film. Get a real talk horror film.
Real talk horror film. I like that.
That'd be fun.
That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, I think that's kind of I've wanted to do like a big film like that for a long time. So it's just like doing it right, serving it out properly, taking it to TIFF, winning everything, and then winning an Oscar. And then we're good.
And then call it a day. Yeah.
I don't know if there's ever been like a horror film that won an Oscar.
There's gotta be.
I don't know if there is. I bet you there isn't.
Maybe not an Oscar.
Maybe Hannibal?
Sounds like you're saying Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. Oh, old. Like it's been a long time.
Oh yeah.
25 Oscar winning. Okay, so so Alien.
Okay.
Get Out won. I apologize. Get Out won.
Yeah, Get Out was one that kind of bridged that horror drama.
So
barrier.
one for Best Original Screenplay. It got nominated for a bunch of stuff. The Exorcist.
Okay. Okay. That's yes. I should have known that. Yeah.
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Okay.
Sleepy Hollow.
Yes.
Sweeney Todd, The Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
What did that one for? Best music? Best original song?
It won for... was nominated for... It won Best Art Direction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, okay. American Werewolf in London.
Mm-hmm.
The Wolfman. Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
The Fly. Oh, the original Omen film, like The Omen.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. King Kong, which was considered a horror film. Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Oh, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Like 1931 film. That one. Phantom of the Opera.
Okay. I don't know if that's really...
Black Swan.
Okay, well, yeah.
Misery. Which was a Stephen King adaptation. So there's been... Yeah, Silence of the Lambs did win. I had a feeling it was. Aliens won. Jaws. Yeah. Jaws. Beetlejuice. So there's been like a good...
Bless you.
There's been a good amount. I'm just looking at this right now. I'm just realizing that Adrian Brody was in King Kong. That's so funny.
Really?
I had no clue.
I had no idea.
Like, I had no idea. In like the 2005 King Kong.
That's so funny. I had no
so
idea.
random. I had absolutely no idea. That's
so funny. You're looking at a random photo.
Go,
wait a minute.
And you go from The Pianist to King Kong. It's so random. It's so like complete opposite. So, yeah, it's not like... I don't consider many of those like horror films in the same way.
No, I don't.
But I'm like looking...
Exorcist, yes. But
Exorcist,
like the other
yes.
ones, no.
Not really.
King Kong, no.
No, none of the King Kongs.
Phantom of the Opera, no.
Again, the psychological
Sweeney
thriller,
Todd.
it's like... I don't know. It's an interesting take. Like, it's kind of... I get it.
I get it, but I don't get it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Silence of the Lambs, again, that's like...
Silence of the... Well, once again, Silence of the Lambs is like, yes, but no. Like, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
It's not...
but...
Again, it's a psychological thriller, though. It's not really the same thing. So, that's okay. And we're going to make one that's going to win, so... just letting you know.
a straight, pure horror film that's
Yeah.
gonna capture the Academy.
Yeah. Well, I think it's possible.
Oh, yeah.
I think we could do it. So, that's it. Let's go make a horror film.
Let's go make a horror film. And everybody out there should make horror films.
Yeah. Have fun.
Or,
just try it.
Make films.
Yeah, just do it.
And watch films.
Yeah.
Consume content and make content.
Absolutely.
Kind of the beautiful blend.
Absolutely. So, I think that beautifully summarizes our
I think it does.
horror filmed episode.
And before we go, I think you were saying to me before the episode that, we had a question from about...
Oh, yeah. I got to see if I can pull up
we're going to do a little pull up.
Pull it up. I have to go to our TikTok. Shit. About the location of the... Was it Cinepolis?
Yeah.
Was it?
It was.
It was Cinepolis. Okay, so you're...
Cinepolis, yes.
Mexican innovation of your popcorn dividers was Cinepolis. Okay.
It's lovely.
Good to know.
I highly recommend everybody check it out. Biggest movie chain in, or theater chain in Mexico.
Oh, okay. And it's good.
Cinepolis. Yeah, highly recommend it.
There you go.
Their Takis popcorn and their Cheetos popcorn is very tasty.
There you go. Say no more.
And their hot sauce is lovely on the popcorn.
You gotta do that. We gotta bring that to Canada. So that's pretty much it.
That sums it up.
Episode 16 of the Real Talk Podcast. We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys. Talk soon.
Peace.